Okay, guys, we need to talk about it. I'm feeling triggered. I'm feeling triggered at the episode of Love Island that I just watched. I'm going to start it off by saying, number one, why is it that every time a black woman sits there, has an opinion, stands up for herself, or just does anything, she's aggressive, she's doing too much, she's shouting? I don't like it. And it's actually getting quite boring. Watching Whitney last night, triggering, okay? We're going to get into it. Before we get into it, please make sure to like and subscribe. But I'm actually in quite a bad mood. I don't like it because I'm going to start off by saying, where was this energy for Grace, for Olivia Atwood, for Maura? They're outspoken individuals. They're individuals that love to get into the drama. But nothing was said about them. Actually, they're praised for it. Whitney does it. Any black woman does it on Love Island. They're come for. Secondly, I want to talk about the hate that Whitney's been getting online, talking about her hair. And it's actually disgusting. We need to stop with that. We need to stop. It's not cute. It's not demure. It's disgusting. Whitney, multiple times, was communicating to Jess, stop. Just stop. Whitney was already being attacked at the fire pit in front of everyone. Jess, who's meant to be her friend, went and decided to hop onto it, decided to egg it on, decided to add to the stereotypes that Whitney is already getting. Jess was talking about, oh, that story's so funny how you forget names. I went and re-watched the clip of where Whitney forgot Connor's name. Jess wasn't even laughing, so what's so funny? Why is it that your friend needs to be the line of the joke? Why is it that your friend, her being embarrassed, her getting shamed, her being come for, is all of a sudden funny to you? Jess is the sort of friend that would go tell the boys that you're talking to, oh, remember that time you shit yourself? Remember that time that you did a massive diarrhea turd in your pants? That's the sort of friend that she is. And let me tell you one thing, if I was in Love Island, I wouldn't stand for it. That wouldn't be my friend anymore, because you don't need friends like that. That's not your friend. That's your enemy hiding, actually. Then Sammy wants to go on afterwards and say, oh, Whitney's so rude. That's so rude. What's rude is the fact that all of you sat there and watched Whitney get shouted at, watched Whitney get come for in front of the whole group, and you didn't say anything. Where is that energy when it comes to Whitney? It's not making sense. Because let me tell you something, if that was my friend, and there's some man, some little man is coming for in front of everyone, they wouldn't have been able to shut me up. Producers would have had to come in and shut me the fuck up. None of them girls are your friends. At the fire pit, Shaq was there screaming, saying, oh, you're trying to make out that I didn't care about Helena. Boy, you don't care about Helena. Helena is just an option to you. Helena is an option to everyone. Respectfully, Helena is literally like, she's irrelevant. You don't care about Helena. If anything, Shaq just didn't like being called out for the fact that he was sat there wanting to do something and he got called out on his behaviour and he felt guilty. He felt guilty because he got called out. And I find it funny that every time Whitney speaks, Shaq is there talking to her like he's gangster. I don't understand, because I've noticed that when he speaks to all the other girls, he's respectful. His tone, his demeanour, it's different. But then any time Whitney speaks, all of a sudden he's on top boy. All of a sudden he's speaking to his bros. All of a sudden he's speaking to his biggest up. And I don't understand. I don't understand where this energy is coming from. And then he wants to preach, saying that that's his friend. Why are you speaking to your friend like that? I wouldn't speak to my friend like that. Would you speak to your friend like that? I know I wouldn't. What I don't understand about Jess is she sat there and watched while some man is speaking to her friend like that. Girls, we've all had that feeling where there's a man thinking he can stand over us, speak to us a certain type of way, get us to shut the fuck up pretty much, right? And Jess just allowed it. And I was genuinely, Leanne didn't say a word. When Whitney went, Sammy wants to say to Jess, that was so rude. I'm genuinely disappointed. I'm disappointed that once again on Love Island, a black woman, independent, speaks her mind, has values and morals, is always the brunt of the joke. I need to calm down. Because as a white woman, I'm disappointed. You girls are icky. You belong in the bin. Firstly, we're going to talk about Shaq. I've never seen someone so emotional, a man so emotional. And I hate to talk like this, but is Shaq on his period? Does Shaq need a tampon? Because that's how he be acting. Why is he there screaming? Why is he there freaking out? Why is he literally getting possessed? Why is he talking to Whitney like someone told him to go suck his mum? Because what Whitney said weren't even that deep. She was thinking about Belle, okay? Now, one thing that very concerned me, we have Dumb and Dumber, Sean and Tommy. How is Sean and Tommy the ones to call out Shaq's behaviour? Out of everyone? Sean and Tommy, like, let that marinate for a second. Sean and Tommy, they are the ones to call out Shaq's behaviour. That's really disappointing. It's disappointing that none of the other men wanted to call out his behaviour. Shaq, genuinely, like, is there something going on at home? Do we need to have a talk? Because why are you so pressed all the time? Why are you so upset? Why are you so emotional? Why are you so aggy? I don't understand. I'm disappointed in Jess. She sat there, right, after the whole drama. She's saying it's banter, it's jokes. How about sometimes people aren't in the mood for banter? How about we acknowledge that not everyone displays emotions the same? Whitney clearly displays emotions different. She internalizes and regulates her emotions. Whitney has been the rock for many of the girls. But typically, that means that they're not feeling a certain type of way. How about you go check on your friends that are always the rock? How about they're going through shit silently? But that's not spoken about, is it? Nothing's done about that. So after the whole drama, Jess decides to go over to Whitney and ask, are we still friends? Number one, that's a dumb question. Of course we're still friends. That's what Whitney says back. Of course we're still friends. It's a dumb question. It's not that deep. Whitney was just trying to set some boundaries, right? Boundaries, healthy boundaries as a friend. And Jess's reaction was just disappointing. If that's my friend, I don't want her to feel that way. What could I have done different so that you don't feel that way ever again? I would never want to hurt you. But when Whitney starts explaining, oh, slander, 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 because you're always coming for me. The thing that Jess says is, that's so rude. Can people stop with the definition of rude? Let me come closer for this. That is not rude. I can show you rude, and I'm sure Whitney can show you rude. That is not rude. How is me explaining my emotions rude? That's what I want to know. Because we can go there. I'm going to say things that are rude, that can't be taken back. That's what rude is. I don't understand. Because I don't understand. If I was Jess, and that's someone that's meant to be my friend, I would be listening. Listening. You know, like they teach you in nursery. Open ears. I would have the ears open. I would be understanding. I would be listening. How did I make you feel like that? I'm so sorry. But there wasn't any of that energy. And the thing that really, really grinds my gears, she runs to the pity party. Crocodile tears. Because that's what I call it, crocodile tears. Jess thinks, oh, that's rude. That's so rude. That's so rude. She runs off to the pity party, starts crying. Automatically, she wins the girl's side. Because the second you start crying, that's it. Anything that's upset you is not upsetting anymore because someone's crying. I don't give a fuck if they're crying. What about me? I'm crying inside. I'm just not crying right now. Millie decides to come over. Oh, Jess is crying. Respectfully, Millie, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care that Jess is crying. Whitney decides to turn around and say, just because someone is crying doesn't mean they're more upset. Couldn't have put it better. Because we've all been in a situation where a girl starts crying, automatically she's getting the sympathy card. That's not my problem that she's crying. It's not my problem that she can't emotionally regulate. And I believe them tears were fake anyway. You could see in Whitney's body language that she's clearly upset. Millie didn't come over to sit there and be like, Whitney, are you okay? Instead, it was just a main issue that Jess was crying. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care that Jess is crying. Jess has upset me. I was trying to talk to Jess and it's not adding up. It's actually quite irritating. And I feel like it's going to be a continuous thing with Whitney over the season, that they're just going to keep coming for her. And it's the same story with any form. Black woman. You're loud, you're aggressive. The only reason they like Leanne is because she's quiet. She don't say anything. She's irrelevant. And Leanne, you didn't stick up for your girl, Whitney. Disappointing. Whitney has been an emotional rock for many of the girls when it comes to things. They seem to think that automatically she shouldn't be upset over stuff. It's not adding up. It doesn't make any sense. Why just because she isn't crying, her emotions are irrelevant? And it's irritating that the crier always wins the who's upset most competition. It's boring. If I was in Love Island, respectfully, Millie, fuck off. Do you know? Millie, fuck off. Fuck you too, Jess. It's that simple. I don't understand. Should Whitney have dropped everything and gone, oh, Jess is crying. Okay. Let me go see if she's okay. No. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So whilst Whitney is there talking about what's going on with Jess, Shaq decides to walk in, okay? When Shaq walks in, as usual, he thinks that the whole world revolves around him. He thinks that Whitney's talking about him. He comes in, hyperventilating, right? He can't keep still. That's how triggered he is. I don't know what's going on up there. Number one, he already comes in aggressive. He's already gone crazy. Whitney's like, respectfully, calm down. Chill out. And it's what I was sat there thinking, like, bro, can you calm down? Why are you so emotional? Why are you so like, you know? Eventually he decides to sit down, you know? And watching it, I felt so triggered because we all know how it feels when there's a man stood over you shouting, like. And me, if I was in that villa, I would have had to come be like, bro, can you chill out? Can you like calm down? Because what are you doing? Respectfully, what are you doing? Producers, what are you doing? How far is it going to get where Whitney is made to feel like a piece of shit before someone intervenes? Because, like I've said before, Olivia, Maura, Grace, they all look to give their opinions. Where was the energy? There was no energy. When it came to talking about AJ at the fire pit, Sammy said the same thing. Shaq was so respectful. Whitney says something. It's gangster mode. It's top boy. It's you owe me some money energy. He comes over to have a mature chat, right? And all it was giving is that Shaq is more concerned with being right. He's not concerned with actually being an active listener using these listening ears. He's not concerned with that. He's more concerned with getting his point across. And he's one of them men. He's one of them men that literally, if you're not saying that he's right, he's not interested. And that's what he was giving. Because Whitney's the sort of girl that, why should I back down when I ain't done nothing wrong? Shaq weren't having it. As the conversation progressed and they asked Scott to listen in, Shaq decides to walk out, emotionally storm out. My guy wants to be the princess. He wants to be the princess. He wants to be the star of the show. He walks out because Whitney is not having it. And I love the girls that just won't have it against these vile men. Don't stand for it. And I fucking love it. I love it. I love it. Good for you, sister. Because Shaq is trying to say that Whitney was calling him out for playing Helena. Boy, you are playing Helena. Don't get me wrong, I don't like Helena. She's a flippy flop. She's a flip flop. She goes wherever the wind takes her. The wind could take her to fucking Lidl. She happy to be in Lidl. It could take her to Morrison. She happy to be in Morrison's, you know. But the thing is that's not even what Whitney was saying. Whitney was talking about something completely different, and Shaq took it as that because he knows deep down he's playing Helena. But that's his own internal issue to deal with. That's not a Whitney issue, and he made it a Whitney issue. He doesn't want to be perceived as the bad guy. And the thing is, what blows my brain, he talks about being a good Christian man. Firstly, what good Christian man is kissing 2 girls in one night? What good Christian man is coming on Love Island, to find a good Christian woman? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Shaq, the bin. Shaq, the skip. That's where he belongs. Put him in the skip. He presents himself in his head, because it's not working. It's not translating to the audience. He presents himself as a good Christian man. I don't think a good Christian man would be speaking to women like that. He accuses Whitney of shouting, this, that. Then what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you not shouting? Are you not emotionally regulating? What's the difference? It's a problem when she does it, but not when you do it. It's different for a black woman and you. 6'7", it's not adding up. Because when Sammy came for how AJ was too clingy, my guy was respectful as fuck. Whitney just did this. Shaq was triggered. Then we go on to a different topic. Shaq, Kieran and Scott have a conversation. It comes up about characteristics. 2 different meanings, right? 2 different meanings. Kieran once again showed himself as a man with low IQ. He once again showed why he's irrelevant, why he's a man that none of us would be interested in. We are in a literacy epidemic. We are in an English language epidemic because there is a difference between characteristics. I could sit there and say, you're a shitty person. That was a shitty thing you did. 2 different meanings, yeah? That was rude. You are rude. That was mean. You are a mean person. They had 2 different things. Kieran couldn't comprehend it. He couldn't figure it out in his brain what it meant. Scott once again had to be the teacher. He's teaching literacy to a bunch of men that are inadequate in the brain. Because the thing is, English literacy, they change things. They are that strong. Words have meaning. They completely change the context, okay? And that is something that Kieran can't understand. Why is Kieran even there? Why is he there? Why is he clinging on? Why is he lurking? Why does his voice even speak? Going to the beat. That conversation was literally like draining to the soul to listen to. Because once again, we're having to hear Scott educate a bunch of grown men. And the thing is, they're not even like wanting to change. They're not wanting to hear. They're just wanting to be right. And one thing I can't cope with is someone that just cares about being right. You don't even want to develop, you know? Then we go on to Jack. Jack. I say this the most respectful way. I fucking hate Jack. I hate him. I never shipped him with Whitney. I could smell the caca. I could smell the garbage. I could smell the bullshit. I could cut through it. Yous are too quick to ship, because true character always shows in the end. Firstly, not once did Jack even ask if Whitney is okay. He didn't say, Whitney, are you okay? The thing is, you can go, this is the motto I live by. Stand by your woman in public, correct her in private. He could have easily, even if Whitney was in the wrong, he could have backed her. He could have said, Shaq, don't be speaking to my woman like that. This is the woman you're caught in. This is the woman you're getting to know. This is the woman you're paired with. Not once did it come out of his mouth. Shaq, no. Everyone take a chill pill. It didn't enter his brain. Then, to add on to the absolute disrespect, didn't ask her if she was okay. Didn't ask her if she was all right. Didn't even give her a hug. Okay? Now, the thing is, his mouth perfectly works when he's asking for a kiss. There's no, dysfunctionality with his mouth when he's asking for a kiss. But when it comes to standing up for his girl, all of a sudden he's on mute. All of a sudden there's a delay. There's something wrong with his mouth. And what really, really irks me, what really bugs me, he tried to spin it on Whitney. I can't deal with no pussy man. Do you understand? I can't deal with it. I can't be with a man that won't protect me, represent me with his whole, you know? And what was even more disrespectful is, so Jack decided it's done with Whitney, right? He found an excuse. He found it. He wants to have a chat with Whitney. When he's there telling Whitney that he's done, Whitney's like, okay, there's nothing more to speak about. And I love that. A queen that ain't got no time. Why am I wasting my time listening to this? Why? When it's utter dross anyway, it's utter bullshit. Whitney walks away. Jack has a problem with that. Wants to come for her characteristics. He comes for her character. Saying, I thought we could have a mature conversation. Boy, there was nothing mature about any of your behaviour last night. He wants to say things like, that's how she is. You know the way she is. Oh, she was sat there saying, what is it that Whitney says? Something like, charge it. Oh, charge it. That's all she says. Boy, go into the fucking bin. That goes to show your attitude all along. Why are you coming for the way that she is? Why are you coming for the things that she says? Clearly you had a problem to get go. And you just found your excuse. You found your reasoning to get away with it. And even Scott called it. Scott called it, bitch. This is the reason I couldn't be in Love Island, because boys like that, ew. Why is he not being voted out already? Why is he still there? Why? I'm genuinely triggered. Because why is he still there? I'm genuinely irritated. Why is he allowed? Don't get me wrong when I say this, but some white men, they see black women as an object. They don't value. He didn't value Whitney. He didn't stick up for her. He didn't represent her. Didn't even check if she was okay. That's not a man. That's a little boy. That's a trash piece in the bin. It was like a humiliation ritual for Whitney, because the second that Jack says that, Shaq's like, oh, go get with Jess. Bitch, why are you so quick with it? You didn't even go, that's meant to be your friend. Go see if Whitney's okay. Question Jack on why he's leaving all of a sudden, but there's none of that. It's okay to humiliate Whitney, and it's disgusting, because it's different to say, you know what, I'm not seen. We're not going to go anywhere. But coming for the way she speaks, icky. It's gross. That doesn't give a man of mature age. That doesn't give a man at all. Then one of my favourite parts of the show, this was actually hilarious to me actually. Shaq and Helena, not Eleanor, decide to go have a chat. Shaq is there saying that he wants a Christian woman. No offence to Helena, but the beg that she is. I could be a Christian. Oh, is it? What days do you go to church? Sunday. Number one, bro, when do you think he goes to church? What day do people go to church? Secondly, I could go to church. Helena, can you get your fucking standards off the floor, scoop them up and put them inside something? Helena, can you go get some standards? Because what is that? You don't have any standards. Do you have anything about you that says like, oh, this is what I want? You will just go where the wind takes you. You're okay with everything because you will go along with everything. And it's actually quite embarrassing as a woman. Why is he pretending that he's Jesus Christ on Love Island? Where is his values? Where is his Christian values? Make it make sense. Shaq needs to go into the bin. Where does he need to go? The bin. Then after that, Jess decides to go speak to Whitney. Jess is like, oh, I'm sorry. I think I was just caught in the crossfire. You know, like he was already upset with multiple other people. Whitney's like, no. And that's the problem. Jess says no accountability. There's no understanding. You clearly haven't heard what your friend said. That's not your friend. That's not your friend. Because if it was your friend, you'd be trying to understand at least where she's coming from. Whitney's like, respectfully, no. You weren't caught in the crossfire. Jess's response, what more is there for me to say? Once again, she goes to start crying. This isn't the Jess show. Everything is about her. Everything. And it's actually getting boring. It's boring. Can Jess be fucking dumped off the island tonight, please? Saying, what else can I say? What else can I say if that's what you think of me? Once again, she runs to the pity party. Why is no one calling Jess out on her behaviour? The fact she likes to embarrass her friend in front of boys. I fucking hate girls like that. Fucking hate it. Jess, you're not a good friend. Jess, you also can join Shaq in the bin. There's room in it. Bin collection until Tuesday. I couldn't be friends with someone like that. And if I was there, respectfully, bitch, who the fuck you talking to? I hate to swear. Sorry. But it's the truth. Because that's not your friend. You'd want to at least understand how she feels. And then if Love Island wasn't getting worse enough, Lucinda Curtis. Lucinda, why are you there? How many seasons do you need to do? Didn't you have a boyfriend a couple of months ago? And Lucinda gives Mean Girls, I'm sorry. She gives Mean Girls. Curtis. That's all Curtis does. Why is he there? Why is he there? Let's bring Curtis back. Curtis. That's his name. Let's bring Casey back at this point. Let's bring all the annoying fuckers. Because all Curtis does... And I'm bored of it. This season is actually getting insufferable to watch. I genuinely am getting bored of watching the same thing, repetitive Love Island. It's getting boring. Why is Curtis there? Why? Why is Lucinda there? They've done 100,000 seasons. Why? What's going on? I don't want to watch them on my screen. I don't want to do it. Curtis, you've been ran through. Curtis, I see you on my TikTok. I don't want to do it anymore. Love Island, please sort your shit out. Sort it out. Triggering watching last night's episode. It's triggering watching the behaviour and it's triggering the people that you're bringing in. And I've had enough. Thank you guys for watching. If you want me to discuss more Love Island, please let me know. Comment down below, like, subscribe. And yeah, peace out.